Today we're going to be jumping into the problem with Matt D'Avella's productivity system. I might be a Matt D'Avella fanboy, but boy, maybe this man is too minimalist for his own good.
So, over the past decade, I've become somewhat of a productivity guru.
I've been telling myself the same thing for a while. I mean, just look at me. You ever seen anyone this productive? Also, Matt, I'm coming after your biceps, bro. Give it a couple years. I'm a hashtag athlete.
The true power of productivity comes through hacks. Like drinking all my water for the week in a 2-minute period on Monday.
Yeah, right?
And consolidating all my phone calls to a 15-minute window. Hey, Mom, I'm really sorry to hear about Grandpa, but I gotta go. And slow dripping my
I gotta say, a reason that I was a huge Matt D'Avella fanboy, and I still am, is because homie is hilarious. Homie is funny.
Caffeine intake over the day using coffee enemas. And in this video, I want to walk you through my never-before-seen 18-step productivity system designed for maximum efficiency so you can make the most of your day. It only takes 3 hours every morning, so let's get started. God. All right, guys, for real, I do want to talk about productivity today, specifically the productivity system I use to keep
All right, he's got Apple Notes. This guy stinks.
My life, both my personal and my work life, organized. It's what I've been using since I started my YouTube channel, and I realized that with so many projects going on, I needed a way to stay organized, prioritize, sort, and track tasks, catch, track, and write down my ideas, schedule events and meetings, stay on top of project deadlines, as well as to store and organize my digital files.
Why is everything this guy does so aesthetic? I mean, one, I can't speak this morning, but two, why is this guy so aesthetic?
So to do all this and to set up a productivity system for yourself, you need 4 main tools: a notebook, a calendar, a to-do list, and a way to store and organize all of your files.
This is facts. I mean, I usually put the to-do list and the notebook in a productivity app system. The cloud storage is usually like Google Drive. And I fully agree with the sentiment here.
Now, this is something that I figured out through trial and error, but it's also something that Thomas Frank has been teaching for a very long time. And it wasn't until I took his course and learned a little bit about how he integrates everything into one cohesive system that I started to think about it in terms of a system. And so, hat tip to Thomas Frank for all the amazing tips and advice he's given me over the years when it comes to productivity. If you haven't checked out his channel, I'll leave a link down in the description below. There's a lot of people that swear and die by specific tools and apps, and I found some that work for me that are really simple, that aren't too bulky, that give me everything I need and nothing I don't. And so I'm gonna share the things that work for me. But to be honest, it really doesn't matter.
This is something that people miss in all my content. One, you should chug all your water just like Matt D'Avella does at the beginning of his week. No joke, I chug one of these when I wake up every morning. It's kind of weird. But I am not serious when I make the Blank App Sucks videos or when I rip on apps. I am playing a part. I'm playing a part to prove you don't need an app and you can be Matt D'Avella. That's kind of the whole joke. And the fact that the productivity app community refuses to get that is kind of why I keep making the videos. If everyone got it, I'd stop making it. If everyone stopped being that way, I would stop making the videos because they'd have no validity or no point. But they have a point as long as people keep ripping on me for apps in my videos or my opinions on apps without having the underlying understanding that, guess what? Every app's okay. Well, not every app.
Use Notion, if you use Evernote or Apple Notes, it doesn't matter as much as you figure out a system, a way to organize all of this stuff to get all those benefits that I just described, to figure out what works for you.
Yeah, and that's cool and all, but we're going to rip Matt D'Avella apart in the next section here.
And so I use this as just my catch-all for a lot of quick notes, things that I might need off the cuff if, say, I'm on a phone call.
No. Homie doesn't have an integrated task and note management software. Homie just uses Apple Notes to put down quick notes. No. Oh, wait, he's got a video system. All right, this might actually be good.
I'm like a perfectionist, if you might not know already. And so I'll just go through and write down every possible title option that would best suit this video, that won't be clickbait, that will be accurate to the video I'm trying to describe. but also interesting enough that somebody might want to click on it. And so that takes a lot of work. And then the rest of the video I flesh out below that. And so this is where all of my videos are stored, where the ideas are first captured on my phone and then fleshed out further on the computer. I've got a folder specifically for my newsletters. So I have a newsletter that I release every week if you want to sign up for that. And this is where this would go. I think this is a newsletter that's going out this week. We'll find out once I get to my calendar. We can check that out. Slow Growth is my Slow Growth. It's a business that I started last year. And so these are all business ideas, maybe notes for meetings that I've got coming.
What you got hidden in there, big guy? We kind of get the general gist of it. He goes on his phone. He's like, hey, Apple Notes idea. Okay, let's get on the computer and flesh it out. Not a bad system. Pretty 9 out of 10 system, 3 out of 10 choice of app.
All right, so let's dive in here and I will show you my Google Calendar, specifically what the next 30 days.
Probably like a 7 out of 10 app. Google Calendar could be a lot better, but it's the crux of like what all the good calendar apps are connecting to, so I can't really complain about it because its existence is required.
Days of my life look like and how I'm organizing everything. You'll probably notice two things right from the get-go. One, there's not a whole lot going on. I try to keep my calendar as empty and clean as possible. And two, it's color-coded and there are multiple sub-calendars that help me to organize everything in the right place and to really look at this and get a bird's eye view of what my month looks like.
That's really nice. I mean, I just want to see this. Okay, from a colors perspective, I can't give you much of a feedback on it because I can't see those really well. But what I will say is having a bunch of different color-coded calendars really does help. So I have it actually set up so that my task management, my project management, my calendar are all like in the same color coding. So you guys know every single app has an indicator as to what the color is via text or a hex code. So yeah, even though I can't see the color well, it does do something. Everyone always asks me that when I say I'm colorblind. Anyways, it is very useful. Totally like it.
I just have one employee and that's it. We do hire freelancers, but this is just a way for my brother, who's my employee, and myself to get on the same page every week with everything that we're doing. And so that's recurring. We just changed it now to be starting on Wednesdays going forward. Other meetings pop right into the calendar. As you know, my one habit this year is my reading habit. And so I've got these little reminders: start book 7, start book 8, start book 9. This is that. So then I have an extra reminder in my environment to keep me committed to my goal of reading 2 books every month for the entire year. And if you were wondering, it's actually going pretty good. I am just about to finish book number 6. And so...
Good on you. Reading habit. Hey, let's go, Matt. Let's go, Matt. Is he going to show us what a day looks like? I guess he doesn't really like do it in this like a calendar blocking situation, which I kind of appreciate. But that's a pretty simple productivity system. We should probably even talk about how he used to time block, and he got me into time blocking through his video.
But the fact that I have these big pillars in terms of my simple productivity system, I know those are my deadlines for my videos. That's when I have to finish them. And so that helps me to keep track, to know what I'm working on. And then my to-do list is where I will then break that down into smaller, more manageable pieces. If you remember, I did do a video about tracking every single minute of my day for 3 months. And so I got really, really into my calendar and literally scheduling everything from the morning until the night. And that was a fun experiment. And also it's great if you're trying to create an alibi. If you need one, that's a great way to do it, is just keep a really thorough calendar. But I found that it was just distracting me from my work. At this point now, I find it not to be as helpful. It's not making me any happier. It's not making me any more productive.
That's a great way to think about productivity systems as well. I mean, I use time blocking as a guide more than anything. I very rarely tweak it. It's like sort of like how I would like my ideal week to look, and then I'll delete stuff. I'll move things around of like, yeah, I got like plans on Sunday to watch football with some boys, and or hang out with like my parents later today or whatever it is. Like I gotta change those things, but just having the general parameter of knowing that it's free time is kind of nice. To just like have that in the back of your head, and that's how I use it. But I respect him not having it time blocked like that.
Features and also some of the mindsets that I use to make
To-do's kind of trash.
Done. So let's hop.
I know what he's about to talk about. He's about to talk about. It's like, yeah, all right. Like I could do this with a piece of paper. Any app that you can do it with a piece of paper just kind of like triggers me. I don't know why. I mean, yes, it does have some actual like app functionality, but
Great thing about To Do, yes, it's simple, and it also allows me to just see the next few days. I mean, I don't really want to see any more than that when it comes to the specific tasks that I'm doing. And so being able to see what I did yesterday and then have a plan for the next 4 days has been really helpful for me to maintain my focus.
I think this is nice. I think it's simple. I like that. You know, I'm jealous of the fact that his life is this simple because of how big his business. Like, let's be real. That's like where a lot of like critique come from. Critique comes from jealousy. Let's not front. So, props to you, man. Like, this is a solid little cute setup.
One thing that I do that I've been doing for so long, but maybe didn't even realize it, is I put everything in the form of an action. I think I got this from David Allen's Getting Things Done system, creating an action item for everything. So
you should do this because in theory, if you're typing out a task into an inbox, for example, and you don't say the action associated to it, and you just put something along the lines of course recap, you don't know whether that means remember to make a course recap, which like make a course recap. You don't know if it means look at the course recap. Kind of doesn't really. Your brain isn't going to just know because, as David Allen says, your mind is for having ideas, not holding them.
Film productivity video, getting specific about what that action is. Shoot thumbnail for productivity video. Double check charges on credit card. I don't know if that's the best action item, double check, but it helps to motivate me to actually
No, it actually is. Like quality assurance, double check is the thing.
Specific task before. And so for me, making a YouTube video, I can break that down into write, film, edit, upload. And that's all I really need to do. But if you yourself have never made a YouTube video before, you might have to break this down into 10 or 15 different tasks because
he's not doing it. Okay.
So complicated. And let's dive in here. I use
file
Google
management.
Drive.
All right. Google Drive. Listen, hey, Matt. I just got it. 1, you're using Google Drive instead of OneDrive. 2, you're using the desktop/Mac version where you actually have it embedded. Homie, this is way better. Anybody who is not doing this, like I have a Google Drive for desktop video. Chef's kiss. This is like one of the best thing Google does. Like if Google search dies, I don't care. I hope they still have Google Drive because it's.
Can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah!
Good.
Something called backup and sync, and so that's how I have a Google Drive folder right here with all of my subfolders that help me to store everything right there on my desktop, but it's also available and immediately backed up onto the cloud. And so I've got organized into business documents here, and then just documents. So these are just like my personal documents.
Yeah, how we met. How cute. Wedding.
Apartment
cute.
leases, literally
Visa.
every apartment
Cute.
that I've ever lived at. I've stored all the leases right here in case I ever need them. And sometimes, surprisingly, you do end up needing those in the future. Backup of all my Apple Notes. Let's see, green card documents, health insurance, all that documentation, house hunt, parking tickets. Oh my God. Yeah. Every year since 2015.
Come on,
everything has its
homie.
plate.
Come on. Just don't park where you shouldn't park, man. Man, I didn't have a lot to rip on about Matt D'Avella. He's very simple. He's very minimalist. If you guys want to go check out Matt's channel, he has multiple millions of subscribers and he probably doesn't need the help, but you should. He's one of my favorite subscribers and he got me into minimalism in 2018. And hopefully I can get you more into productivity and productivity apps if you check out this video right here.